So there's been a lot of talk on the news and whatnot about what is going on with the real estate industry, what's going on with commissions, are commissions going away, is the real estate industry going to be affected, and is it going to be disrupted, which is a common term when something new happens in any industry. But is there going to be a huge change on how buyers and sellers actually pay real estate agents? And so I want to share with you in layman's terms what is going on. Now, first and foremost, we don't have a crystal ball, right? We don't know how this is going to play out. We know what the requirements are, but we don't know how this is going to play out and how sellers will react to this once it's in place, and how real estate agents are going to approach this. But I want to share with you what is going on. So first and foremost, before this happened, right, I have to say that a home seller was always able to negotiate real estate agent commissions. They always were. Maybe some sellers weren't aware that they could, or maybe they weren't told, right? Because this lawsuit basically stated that there was no transparency, that real estate agents weren't letting sellers know that, they could negotiate that. Even though what I've seen in my own experience is that real estate agent commissions were negotiable. At least I made my clients aware of that. But basically, all right, the lawsuit states that there has to be more transparency. And so what happened is, when an agent took a listing from a seller, they would actually put it on the MLS, and they would negotiate with the seller prior to doing that. Okay, how much do you want to offer? The buyer's agent bringing in a buyer to the property. If the listing agent who represents the seller doesn't bring in their own buyer off of a sign call or out of their own network or whatever, and so that would be, let's say, 3% to the buyer's agent, and then 3%, let's say, okay, if that's what you negotiated as a real estate agent, to the seller, and it would just be clear cut, okay. And a buyer's agent would be searching for homes for their client, and they would see what they're being offered. After this lawsuit, though, went into place and became finalized, okay, in July of 2024 to early August, there's a new rule coming into play because of the lawsuit that states that you can't have that in the MLS. You can't tell a buyer's agent up front, hey, we're going to offer you this amount, okay? Now, if the seller agrees to a certain percentage, yeah, you could put that in the notes, but you're really not supposed to. And so what happens is, as a buyer's agent who has a buyer who wants to put an offer in on a home, they put their offer in, and then with that offer, the buyer's agent then says, I would like to be paid, let's say 3%, all right? And it becomes negotiable along with the offer. So I'm a seller and I get this offer in, or multiple offers, whatever, which could affect the buyer's agent's commission if you're trying to compete with other offers. Okay, could drop it down. But you have a seller looking at these offers and says, okay, you know what? Matter of fact, let's go with the multiple offer example, where you have one offer here, offer A and offer B. Offer A is for, let's say, full price asking, but then the buyer's agent says, I want 3%. And then offer B comes in and they say, okay, we're offering full price, but I want 2% commission paid. Well, which offer do you think is going to win, provided that they both have the same financing? So that's going to be the big thing, is that buyer's agents will have to negotiate their agent commissions with the offer being placed. Now, what I see happening is that buyer's agents would typically make 2.5% to 3% on a deal. They're probably going to have to accept a little bit less because it is being negotiated with the offer. And so it's more, I guess, transparent, even though it was transparent before. I guess it is more transparent now because it's out there, right? Buyer's agent is like, hey, here's what I'm requesting to get paid on this home. I'm bringing a buyer to your home. Okay, I'm going to work with your listing agent, but I want to get paid. And some experts are saying, well, maybe the buyer should put some of that fee onto the buyer, and maybe the buyer should pay, let's say, 1%. Because if the seller is only going to pay, let's say, 2%, okay, the buyer should actually put in an extra percent as part of the buyer's agent working with the buyer. Now, I don't see that happening. I don't see a home buyer paying a buyer's agent for anything. I just don't. I don't see that. I don't see them saying, okay, I'm gonna, put down my down payment. I'm going to, pay for upfront closing costs and pay for upfront home inspection, upfront appraisal fee. And by the way, the buyer's agent, I'm gonna give them an extra percent, or maybe some buyer's agents will be asking for the full 3% from the buyer. I don't foresee that happening. So in a nutshell, this is just what is going on with the real estate industry. Will it disrupt it? When this first came out, I thought no. I thought it's not going to really affect much. But now as we got closer to the changes, I do feel it's going to affect more buyers agents than listing agents. Many agents are going to be focusing on working with sellers more because there's more profit there, let's be honest. Okay? So in a nutshell, this is what is going on with the real estate industry. Share your thoughts in the comments. What have you gotten from what you've seen in the news with sensational headlines and the real estate industry is going away and all this stuff? None of that's happening, by the way. The real estate agents will always be around. All right, they've been around for decades, right? So I don't think that that's going to change much. I just think that how we do business as real estate agents will definitely change, and we have to just educate our clients, right? If you're a real estate agent watching, we have to educate our clients more. So share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see what you feel about this lawsuit and what you have heard about it, what the average person outside of the real estate industry thinks about this. Go ahead and share that in the comments. Otherwise, I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor, and I appreciate you watching.